All right. Listen. Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And as you know, I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I hope you learn how to love yourself and each other. Today, we're going to be talking about Wendy Williams. And we're going to be doing a live call-in show. I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a moment because there's something that is just irritating my spirit right now. It's irritating my spirit, and I wanted to come out and talk about this, right? Um, so I put out a video, I put it up yesterday on YouTube and today on Facebook about Wendy Williams. Hey, good evening, everyone. We are live right now. Go on and thumbs up the video and get comfortable, right? I put out a video yesterday and today about Wendy Williams as it's being reported by the Daily Mail, that Kevin Hunter, her husband, is going to be working with her on the charities, etc., right? Instead of dissolving them, and that's going to be a part of the alimony agreement so that she won't pay him alimony, but he'll still be working on the charities, etc. Hello, everybody. Hello. And so I've been getting a lot of messages coming in from people who are like, Wendy already cleared this up. Oh, oh, my neck. That's how they sound to me. Wendy cleared this up. You're lying. You're lying, Tonya. Wendy said no. So you lied, Tonya. You lied. And I'm sorry, but this is how so many of you come to New York and get alleviated of your wallets. This is how so many of you come to New York and you stand around with the people with the little caps, and they moving the three round and round, and there's a person standing there winning all this money. And this is how you get taken to the cleaners right there on the roads of New York. This is how you all come and get scammed. Listen, because you all standing. Wendy said, all right, you're going to have to do a lot more than quote Wendy said to call me a lie. I quoted my source. Remember, the Daily Mail is the same place that reported on the affair in the first place when Wendy took her behind out into her show and was like, all well in Hunterville. Is it now, Wens? Is it? So, I wasn't going to make this, I wasn't going to make a video tonight. But I'm reading comments and I decided, you know what, it's late. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It's almost midnight. Actually, it's 11:45. It's almost midnight. I wasn't going to come out, but I was reading some comments and I was like, you know what? Let me pick up, let me talk to you all and see what and you see, right, tonight I'm not masking my New York accent because I know we going in, right? Hello, everybody. Welcome in, right? So, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I came on to do this show to see who picked up on what I picked up on when I watched the interview. All right? Because there's so many of you so doggone gullible. Because I was like, you know what? Because first of all, I was celebrating my birthday this weekend. I've been out for the past few days. That's what took so many days for the Wendy thing to get put up in the first place. And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, are we vloggers supposed to be slaves to the computer that we can't even go out and have a good old time? So I ain't going to be that one. I ain't going to be that one who's going to be like, not living my life because stories got to get done. No, I put up and I make stories using examples as teachable moments. How many of you saw my Wendy video? If you saw my Wendy video, put up a number one. Put up a number one. While you all are voting, I'm going to be opening up the phone lines right now because I want to hear your point of view. I need to touch the people. I need to touch the people. All right, so there's a lot of you who saw the Wendy video. Okay, and I want to ask you all, of the people who saw the Wendy video, right? What was the overall theme of the video? Because you all know I'm not a a news breaking person. I don't break the news and then that's the story. I make my videos, we use these examples as teachable moments in our own lives. So what was the theme? I'm gonna shout out some of your names for the people who put up what the theme was for the video. So while you all are getting the vote in, hey, welcome in from South Carolina. I see Atlanta's in the house, New York and New Jersey in the building, Chicago. We got London in the house. We got Spain, Argentina on the premises. We got people worldwide in here tonight. Welcome in, welcome in. There's 130 people watching and 31 thumbs up. So come on and get your thumbs up in. Right? I'm logging into the system because I'm about to open up the phone lines right now. We got Texas in the house. Okay, so Ivana says, loving yourself enough to allow someone to mature. All right, that was the theme of the video. So Jody is saying Wendy Williams takes Kevin back. That wasn't the theme of the video. We got Seattle in the house, Virginia in the house, London in the house, Memphis by way of Newark. That's a long way, baby. That's a long way. All right. Phone lines are open. Let me get the sound up. Oh, good. Oh, you all already calling in. Hey, hold on for just a moment. I'm trying to get this, and you got to turn down your volume. Uh-oh, we lost you. We lost you. Listen. Sacramento, we got so many people. What is Wendell lying about? She's lying about a lot of things. So, one of the things that we used to do so then Danielle says, not setting/dimming your light, although you may be at your lowest addiction, you should still always and first and foremost love yourself. Okay. So let's see. Tonya saying the theme was loving yourself by yourself. Yes. All right. So we got some people. Mumu is saying it might be cheaper to keep him. Lot of mercy. All right. Let me get the sound connected. And you all start getting ready to call in. Somebody type the number. Ivana, can you type the number in the room for everyone? It is 323-488-3149. What's happening? I need to change the source. All right. So it is connecting. It is connected. 323-488-3149. Phone lines are open. So let's talk about what it is that I feel that Wendy is lying about. I want you, the number is in the title, but sometimes people for some reason, they don't see for some reason. I don't know what's going on with folk, right? All right. So listen. Thank you. I just took the head wrap off though. All right. So let's talk for a quick moment. How many people out there saw the Sway's Universe, interview? If you saw Sway's interview, put up the number 2 so I can see how many people saw the interview so that we can talk about what it is that we saw. I haven't seen the D.L. Hughley one. Okay, so there's a lot of people that have seen it. All right. I took notes of the whole interview. There was so many parts in there where Wendy was talking about a lot of different things, right? And so I want to see how many of my people out there are perceptive. When we did our language classes back in the days, our reading classes, there was a thing that we had to do which was called reading comprehension, so that you could read something and then see how well you comprehended what it is that you read, right? So let's do some listening comprehension as well as some arbitals. So for those of you who are familiar with the Tonya TKO show, you know that arbitals are reading between the lines. So let's talk about what is it that you comprehended from the Wendy interview with Sway? What was the overall theme? What was the message, the underlying message? And why did Wendy get on Sway's airwaves? What was the purpose of that interview? Because she let her purpose be known over and over and over. So let's talk. Let's talk. What is it? So talk to me. Talk to me. So Takisa is saying, I've been side-eyeing Wendy ever since she lied the first time. I saw the one with the female and she attempted to control the interview, the one where she burst out into tears, right? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm drinking my raspberry vinaigrette. I have, well, it's strawberry right now, so strawberry vinaigrette, not vinaigrette. It's vinaigrette like lemonade. And this is actually, I'm using some homemade vinegar in there. Okay. I'm about to start shouting out some names of people who are giving me poignant answers, right? All right. So YB David is saying she kept calling him by his nickname and she talked about him the whole interview, even when she wasn't asked about him. YB David, poignant. Princess Fula is saying, I recall she kept saying at one point that she wanted the divorce like yesterday. That's what she was saying. Her mouth said that. But let's dig down into the arbitrals, reading between the lines. What was the purpose of this interview? Come on, give me these answers. Santa is saying she wants to be married. Poignant. Tonya is saying she's obsessed with him. You know what? I need you to give me some more foundation on that. What is it that you observed that gave you the indication that she's obsessed? Let me ask you all. Let me ask you all. We're doing another survey. I want you all to answer. Before the Sway interview, put up a number 3 if you knew that Kevin Hunter's nickname was Big. Put up the number 4 if you learned that during the interview. Put up the number 3 if you knew that before. Put up the number 4 if you learned that his nickname was Big during the interview. All right, bring these numbers in, people. Bring the numbers in because we're going to talk about it. Phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. I want somebody brave enough to call in and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I see, so there's one person, Quiet Storm. So tell us, Quiet Storm, where is it that you knew that his name was Big before the interview? Everybody else is putting up 4s. Everyone. And then Bridget. So the people who are putting up 3s, I need you to tell me where is it that you knew, from where that you knew that his name was Big, right? All right. All right. So here we go. Valletta is saying she wants people to see him as a person. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. We have Monica saying, being a girl from Newark and being very aware of Wendy over most of my lifetime, Wendy Williams' measurements are worth against having a man. She apparently feels fulfilled by being a package deal. Well, that's opinion. Wendy Williams is afraid of getting old and lonely. Still opinion. She will not allow another woman to have what she has given so much to and believes she has sacrificed for. All right. Our damage control, she wants to jump ahead of the story and control the narrative, says Gary. Okay. Santa is saying, I've heard her say it in the past 2 interviews, Sway and Karen Hunter. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so the people who are finding out that his nickname is Big are just now finding out about it during this spin cycle that she's on right now, right? Let's keep going forward. Let's keep going forward. I think she just doesn't want to be alone. I would say that she's obsessed with him and obsessed with not being alone. I heard her say it during her show. She would often call him Big Kev. Okay, Big Kev is one thing, but calling him Big, that's something new that I have never heard before, my first time. Wendy just likes the idea of being married. Wendy has called him Big before. I'm sure she has, but I'm talking about the general public. How many of us, and the survey speaks for itself. The surveys speak for itself that most of the people on the broadcast right now are saying that the first time that they heard this nickname was in this news cycle. So let's talk about, so wait, hold on. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me get back to the page. Okay. All right, so the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Call in and let's talk about this whole, what is it that you picked up on? And I'm going to tell you my point of view, right? All right. So, my point of view is that she went on this show to speak to Kevin through this show, to speak to Big, right? Because most of what it was that she was saying was attempting to establish her as a single sexually active woman who is plump and in her sexual prime, not playing no games, having overnight guests, and talking about penises and circumcised and the date sheet going on and approaching men and all this other stuff, right? So I see some, oh, that's the clock. Okay. So now people saying Kevin is her drug because she gave up on the other drug. So now she's out here letting Kevin know, oh, listen, it's not my fault I'm single, but now because of you, I'm out there and I'm getting my freak on. I'm having intercourse. She was even flirting with Sway. They were doing some role play like they were on a date. It was a mess. It was a mess. And then at the very end, Marlon Wayans comes in, and Marlon Wayans is like talking about the age, how young the man was that he saw her with. He was like, the guy was so young, you'd have to burp him after sex, right? So here she is, still now with this whole younger man thing. If you saw my video, you know that we did the numbers on how old Wendy was when she met him. Wendy also talked about, requiring a man to have money in the future and this, that, and the other. And then Wendy, let me ask you all. Let me ask you all. How many of you have heard Wendy? Let's do another survey. Put up a number 6 if you've heard Wendy talk about going through menopause. Put up a number. What number are we up to? Put up. Did I say number 5? Put up the number 5 if you've heard her talk about. Or was it 6 that I said? Okay, so 6. So put up the number 6 if you've heard her talking about menopause. Put up a number 7 if you've never heard her talking about going through menopause. Right? Okay. Okay. All right. So, listen, I want you all to peep game. I want you to peep game. Oh, nobody's going to call in? Is there anybody that's trying to call in that's not able to get through? Because the lines are open as far as I know, but sometimes, we have some technical hiccups, right? All right. Okay. So, it's like half 6, half 7s. Half 6, half 7s. Okay. So, TP is saying that I'm breaking up, that the sound is breaking up. Okay. All right. Okay. So, I distinctly remember hearing her talking about menopause and hot flashes and it being that time of a woman's life and all this other stuff, right? But then on this Sway interview, she starts talking about how she's still menstruating. She needs maxi pads. That's why she can't be with a woman. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, Tonya. This is Cheryl Harper. How are you?
Yes, hi Cheryl. How are you doing? So we're talking.
Oh my goodness, I'm talking to you. I've been your fan for like 6 years. Oh my goodness, hi. How you doing? Is my computer low enough? I tried to turn the sound down.
Yeah, it is. It's low enough. It's low enough. So listen. So talk to us, Cheryl. Talk to us. So you saw the
Oh my
Sway
God.
interview. Tell us what are your thoughts? What did you pick up on?
I think that Wendy Williams she's going through a lot. I think the main thing that's happening to her is because she had to go to rehab. I noticed that the way she speaks to people has really changed a lot. she's less animated and silly, and she doesn't like downgrade people the same way as she used to. I
Mm-hmm.
think that Wendy Williams is getting a reality check, and I think she's trying to. I think her layers are coming off, so I think we're gonna have a little bit of patience with her. Her layers are coming off. She was kind of like drag queenish before, and she's becoming a real person now. You know, and I think she used to use her like the money that she has to try to like make herself elevated and separate herself from the drug addiction. Now she lost her husband. You know, so I think she's coming off, but she has so many layers, not unlike her makeup. So I think we're
Okay.
gonna have patience with her.
Okay. So we're talking about patience with Wendy. Now, you know what? And I completely and I totally appreciate that. That we must have patience with Wendy. However, the narrative that's being spun right now is causing a lot of outfighting. People fighting about this Wendy story. You know, for the most part, listen, it's really none of our business. However, Wendy has made a trade. She's created a trade out of talking about other people's business. But then now that it comes to her own, I mean, let me ask you this question. Let me ask all of you out there this question. 8 and 9. If you think Wendy has been patient with people and their news and gossip, put up the number 8 if you think she's been patient. Put up the number 9 if you feel that she has not. has it,
No, she hasn't been patient, and that's one thing that I'm trying to say. She's mature as far as she has a so-called education. She went to college. She made money, but she's not mature as a human being. She matured herself as a caricature and as
okay.
making fun of people and looking down on people. She has not matured herself as far as being just a human being who's raw. That's why she has all those different layers on her. She always has to act, you know, so over the. She could be a cartoon, you know, and all that plastic surgery is even like so animated. It doesn't even fit her frame, you know. So she's a person who she's like she says I'm real, you know, but she's really not real. It's hard to be her because I don't know what her ethnicity is, but she's really a person. She kind of looks like a guy a little bit. She's kind of pretty. She came from money, but she's still black. You know, she had a heavy drug addiction. She was probably rejected by guys. She has a lot of identity crisis before she became famous. So throw in the fame and then a domineering man who does not have the same socioeconomic capabilities as her, and she's very confused. You know,
Okay.
so she's more spun out really than a junkie to
Oh,
me.
wait. Well, we just went left there. How we got to junkieism?
Because my family is drug addicts, so I know drug addicts. Anybody who has a strong drug addiction that it dominates their life at any time, that is their identity, basically, whether they want it to be or not. And she has a lot more on her plate than that. She has the celebrity on her, where she tries to say she rejects it, she doesn't. She's always flaunting her socioeconomics. She's always trying to make up for that her husband really doesn't have any reason to be in her business, but she gave him money and power, and she, you know, she's always making up for something. She's carrying so many mountains on her shoulders. She's a pretender, you know, she's like a pretender. I can't think of the word it there, but she's a master pretender. But she's doing so many more things, and that's what drug addicts do. They pretend so much, but she just does so much more than them. Look at she carried on a successful career, and she's a heavy drug addict. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
she's great at pretending, and now the shell is coming off, and it must be very painful. Now she's famous. She can't even have peace. You know,
Okay.
this is way more than somebody else.
Okay. And you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because before I started the
I
broadcast,
love you, Tonya TKO. I just have to tell you that.
I love you too, Cheryl. I love you too. You know what? Thank you. Thank you. So listen, I'm going to let you go. I'm seeing some other people that say that they want to
Yeah,
call in. So I appreciate you
yeah.
calling in, Cheryl. And I'm glad that you mentioned that about the drug addiction because before I became on the broadcast, I was thinking to myself, I wonder how much of her ability to lie so effortlessly is a result of her being a I don't want to say a career cokehead, but a person who has an addiction and has probably perfected lying to herself as well as other people. So I appreciate you bringing up that point. Thank you, Cheryl. Have a great evening.
Yes. God bless you. I love you, okay?
I love you too, Mama.
Bye.
All right. Okay. So phone lines are open. I want to hear from someone else with a point of view, right? And so Doris is talking about the awkward kiss of Meek Mill. This is what I'm saying. Right now, Wendy has gone on a publicity spin tour where she is speaking to Kevin through the media. And she's now putting up pictures of her going out, being at parties. Because remember, she said that she became a homebody. How much of her being a homebody was because of Kevin? How much of that was because of who she is? You also have to remember she's been in this marriage since she was in her 30s. So she probably dropped off from the club phase, went and spent and did a 22-year bid, and then now she's broke out. And so now she's putting up pictures with her wig on the floor by some shoes and a New York Yankees cap, and talking about last night. She's putting up pictures kissing men, walking with men. She's rolling with men in her car. She's picking up men when she's out there. She's talking about intercourse. She's talking about how juicy she is. And so some of you are saying that she's talked on the show about her having her period. I don't watch the Wendy show. Like, sometimes I'll look at the clips of Hot Topic on YouTube. But even though I said, listen, in my last video, I talked about how much I respect Wendy. I respect what Wendy has been able to do. I respect the path that she's laying for so many female vloggers to be on the gossip route right now. She's set the foundation and paved the way for young black women of the future who have come behind her on the gossip tip. Me personally, I don't resonate at that vibration, so I do not watch the Wendy show. On some of her Hot Topic things, I'll see the clips on YouTube from the part where she is running, and then she goes, "How you do?" And she sits down in the chair, and then she gets the thing, and she puts her little Jolly Rancher in her tea, and she sips, and then she talks about the stuff, and the stuff comes up on the TV, and then that's it. I don't watch the show. So you all are saying that she's spoken about having her period. I know that from what I've heard her talking about going through the change. So listen, there's a part of me that feels like part of the reason that she mentioned that is because, her husband just had a child with someone else. Remember, she lied outwardly. She lied outwardly about the fact that he wasn't seeing someone else. Everything was good. This man has been in this relationship with this woman for 10 years. You don't think, and I am convinced now more than ever, especially after Leela Rashawn, I'm convinced that husbands and wives know when their spouse is cheating. You mean to tell me you live with a person and they go to work and they come home, and then for 10 years a person is able to carry on an extramarital affair with hours of unaccounted for time, and you're going to tell me you don't know that there's an affair happening? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe. So look, phone lines are open. I want to hear from someone else. 323-488-3149. I saw someone in the comments said they wanted to call in, but now the phone lines are open and you're backing off. So Faith is saying she definitely knew for a long time. And so this is what I'm saying. She knew. She knew. She lied about it openly. And like we were saying a few moments ago, people with addictions often lie and misconstrue the truth, not only to other people, but the biggest lie you tell is to yourself, right? So here we go. while I'm waiting for the next. So listen, wait. If you want to call in, put up a zero if you want to call in. I want to see who wants to call in, because I want to hear. Because I have my own ideas, but I want to hear from you all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tell you some of the notes that I took during the Sway interview. Um, so at 8, oh, here we go. There's a call coming in. All right, you are on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Monica from New Jersey, from Newark. Hey, Tanya.
Hey, Monica, how are you doing? Talk to me.
I think I would actually get through,
Yeah, so
but I did.
yeah, so talk to me. Tell me what you've picked up on, because I want some new body of information, so I see if I'm going to be doing a video about this tomorrow.
Well, I didn't actually see the interview, but I have followed the Wendy story.
Okay, talk to me
And
then.
I just feel like Wendy, I agree with the last caller. She, because I have had experience with family members as well, my father, with drug addiction. And I do feel that Wendy has lied so much and pretended and put up this facade of this lifestyle that it's to the point she doesn't even know what her reality is.
Mmm.
Just really
Mmm.
think, I don't think Wendy has ever actually found Wendy.
Mmm.
She's so wrapped up in everything else and Big Kevin being probably the main thing. She
Yeah.
hasn't taken time to find herself.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me, what is it that's giving you that point of view?
This is me. First of all, I know I don't sound like it because I've been in Memphis for 20 years, but I'm from New Jersey. I left New Jersey when I was 16. And I grew up in a Christian home where I was not allowed to listen to Wendy Williams. But
Oh,
I used to
wow.
sneak and listen to her anyway.
Okay.
So I followed Wendy since my teens, and I've, really seen the change in her.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Big changes.
It
Uh-huh.
got to a point where I liked her, and then I didn't like her. And
Yeah.
it's now I really feel sorry for her because she's her own worst enemy.
But tell me why you're saying that. I back this up with something that you've observed, something. I want to hear something.
One of the things that stuck out to me was is how she. It's not one specific thing. It's really how she approaches this whole divorce situation.
Okay, tell me
Just knowing
more.
how Wendy was before, how she always put everybody else's business on the forefront and was so opinionated about everybody else's situation.
Mm-hmm.
With her situation, it's like just the tears every now and then. We know she wants to break out and cry. It's like she's reaching for everybody's sympathy because she knows what bridges she's burnt in the past. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, it's you've always put everybody else on Front Street. Now you're on Front Street, and it's obviously she doesn't want to be. And she's so used to running away from her problems or pretending that it's something else. Now she's in the limelight. She can't do that.
Okay. Okay.
Can't hide from it anymore.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? I'll take that. Well, listen, you still have a very strong New Jersey accent, so I don't know what you're talking about. We can't hear it. We hear it. We hear it.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to hold on to it.
You're so funny. Well, listen, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So phone lines are open. I want to hear some more points of view, because I'm thinking about doing a video about this tomorrow, but I want to hear from people. I want to hear from people who have other ideas. So you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
April.
Yeah, hi. I need one of the things that I need you to do is I need you to make sure that your computer is turned down, okay?
Okay, so the other.
All right. So listen, we're going to give her a few more moments to get it together. Yeah, so the phone lines are open. We're going to try and see if she's so yeah, what's your name?
April.
Okay, April. So talk to me. What information are you going to provide right now about your take on the whole Wendy Williams situation?
Wanted to say that she has spoken several times about going through menopause. That is correct. She's referenced it. She's made comments about it. So that is accurate. I didn't hear her on the Sway interview say anything about getting her time a month, but she has referenced she's going through that stage.
Okay, so
But
it's not just me, because I've heard her talk about going through menopause, and I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense. You know, she's in her 50s. But no, during the Sway interview, I'll tell you at what minute and second. Let's see. At 22 minutes 30 seconds, she talks about about she doesn't want to be with a woman because she needs to get maxi pads and tampons, and then the other woman got to get hers too. So yeah, no, she said it. She said it. So go ahead. So talk to me.
yeah, well, now I was going to say, well, as we know, Wendy lies a lot.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
same thing about the situation with her husband.
Yeah.
Just a week prior to that, she said everything is great in Huntersville. And then a week later, she discusses them separating and divorcing.
Mm-hmm.
She does not speak the truth. She only speaks the truth if she knows that it's about to come out. You know,
Okay.
she's she's a calculating person, manipulative and calculating. And my biggest concern was that I started disliking her show because she had no empathy for anyone. She
No.
built her brand on dragging women and black women in particular.
Yes.
She has no empathy, no mercy. She talks about their marriages,
Yes.
what they're doing, what they should know, what they shouldn't know.
Yes.
And now this is her turn. And she's all hush hush and don't want to speak about it. I just don't have much respect for her at all.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I feel you on that. Thank you so much for calling in and giving your point of view.
Welcome. Thank
Okay, so listen, the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. I want to hear your point of view about this whole Wendy Williams situation. I'm thinking about doing a video tomorrow, so I want to hear alternative points of view from different people. You're on the air live with Tonya. Make sure your computer is turned down. What's your name?
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Son.
Yasin?
Yes.
Okay, for some reason it's breaking up. Your call is breaking up. So say something else. Let's hear you and see if we got a good connection.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to just say one thing. She's using an old tactic. You know, when you break up with somebody, then you start going out.
Yes.
You start trashing. She's just doing the tit for tat thing. That's it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Yasin.
Hey, take care.
All right. So we don't know if that was Most Def or not, but he did call in, and his name is Yasin. We didn't ask if he was Yasin Bey, but you never know. People from all over watch my show. So thank you so much for calling in. So yeah, that's exactly what it looks like to me. So, oh my gosh, LaRon is asking, you think she's lying? You don't? LaRon, now this is when the upstate is coming out of you. All right, so you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hello?
Lily,
Yes, say it again.
Lily, can you hear me?
Yeah, say your name again.
Lily, you can just call me Lily. That's like the nickname I have.
Okay, so Lily, you're on the air live. So talk to us. Talk to us.
I'm just, I just wanted to be a little quick about it. I mean, I can understand where all of the other callers are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of my experience watching Wendy Williams, I mean, I had been watching her since she came out
Mm-hmm.
in 2008 with her show.
Okay.
And even like when I was living in New York, I listened to her show a little, every now and again. So she was more raw on the radio
Okay.
versus on television. But when she first came out on like in 2008 with her show, she was still kind of, a little bit more raunchy and stuff like that. But I think, like, I haven't been watching her in recent years like I used to religiously, but I think based off of my experience watching her and everything, she used to kind of put herself, like, along with putting other people's business on blast, I find where she was more open about herself in former years. Like, she seemed like she was a bit more transparent. She was open about herself. She put it, like, I always liked her for that. She seemed like she would put herself on blast, put her business out there as well, and be open about who she was. But I think in this particular situation, she's embarrassed.
I mean, of course she's embarrassed. Anybody would be, because she put forth
Yeah.
this vision of what she wanted people to think about her marriage. And when you peel back the curtain, you see fractured shoulders, a mistress, a side piece baby, a son beating up his father. You see a lot of different things going on when you peel back the curtain. So yeah, of course she is. She could be embarrassed. Of course.
I'm definitely more than anything. I think, that imagery, like you said, of her having this long lasting marriage. I know I would be embarrassed too. I think that's probably part a factor as to why she doesn't want to be as forthright and forthcoming about it as she does with somebody, as she would be with somebody else.
Well, and then that goes into, that speaks to the hypocrisy as well. That speaks to the hypocrisy. It speaks to the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Because anybody's embarrassed. Everybody's embarrassed about the person cheating on them, because it brings up a lot of different public comments about, and also internal comments about your own inadequacy. Why did this person have to go out there in the streets? What weren't you, quote unquote, provide, and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, I still, I still love Wendy Williams, but, of course, throughout the years, she's made me mad with certain things that she said, like anybody else. But I do have respect for her and what she's done and contributed to the entertainment industry. However, I think now she really does need to take some time, just like the other callers have said, take some time out to take care of herself, maybe get to know herself, or get to know a new part of herself that she hasn't discovered yet.
Yeah.
I think it's time for her to kind of get her help in order, because she does have a history of drug addiction, so that plays a role as well. I think, as women, we get so caught up in, I guess, being with somebody, into like.
Well, you know what, Lily? Listen, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I love your video, Tonya.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So we have a lot of different perspectives coming in. LaRon, I want you to call in and help us understand how a person from New York, you making me look back, because I done talked about how people come to New York and get got, and you over here talking about you believe Wendy. Please get your Twitter fingers together to come call in. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hello? Okay, so when you call in, make sure that you have your computer turned down low and you're just listening for me on the phone. All right, so LaRon, come bring your Twitter fingers along. I want to hear how you could possibly be a New Yorker listening to Wendy sit up there talking about uncircumcised, circum this and circum that, and think that she's being forthright. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Yeah, this is LaRon.
All right, LaRon, help us understand. Make it make sense. How is it that you could possibly, how can you possibly think that Wendy is being truthful? Come with it.
Right. So this is how I personally feel, right? And this is as a person who, I feel like I watch Wendy Williams as much as I watch you, like, to be honest. Like, so I just feel like when that interview with Sway, I felt like she was being very forthcoming about it. And I felt like she was like, the only thing my husband can do for me is sign those papers. She's moved into an apartment I feel like if she was at least trying to rekindle that marriage, she would not have sold that house. That's a memory of her child and his whole like childhood and her whole career. That Jersey mansion or wherever it was. So that being up for sale is a big indication that that relationship is over. So that's why I look at different things. Like, how you say look at the orbitals? Like, I feel like if she was at least trying to keep the marriage, maybe she would have kept the house. She said she's living in an apartment. Her son is in Miami.
Okay, so let's talk. You said you watch me about as much as you watch her. A few years ago, I made a video about how to win any argument, right? Did you ever see that video?
Mm-hmm. I remember that, yeah.
Okay. And so one of the ways that you win any argument is that you think about the goal of what it is that you want for why you're going into the argument. And then you say what it is, you communicate and you behave in such a way. So if you want to be able to have a person hear you out, if this, that, and the other, blah, 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 you behave and you navigate in a different way for each situation. When it comes to Wendy, right, let's take a look at what it is that we see. And then let's put the pieces together because you want to talk about orbitals, right? So let's talk, all right? Let's do a side-by-side comparison. If Wendy were, Danielle is saying papers not even filed. This is what I'm saying. The papers are not even created. The divorce papers are not even created. So let's talk. If you wanted, let me ask you this question. If you were going to go, let me ask some of you to really think about this, right? If you wanted your ex back, right? If you wanted your ex back, if you were Wendy Williams and you wanted your ex back, how would you go about getting your ex back if you wanted him back? So LaRon, brainstorm with me right now. If you wanted your ex back and you were Wendy Williams, how would you go about doing it? Would you A, get down on your knees and start crying, pulling on their pant legs and saying, "Don't leave me"? Would you get them back that way, A? B, would you go beat up the side chick and punt her baby? That was inappropriate. So that's B. So that's B. So, or C, would you treat them like you don't need them? Show that there's other penis coming near you, because you know how it is with cheaters. Cheaters want to cheat, but they don't want to lose your meat. So would you do A, B, or C? Okay. So
C.
Okay. So now she's going on this campaign. Wendy could talk about anything that she wants to. But the most abundant thing that she spoke about on that Sway show was what? What was the most abundant thing she spoke about on that Sway show? Talk to me, LaRon. Talk to me.
Well, I mean, she touched on a few topics. She talked about that comedy thing, her son.
I didn't ask you how many different things she spoke about. I said, how many things did she continue to bring up over and over? What was the most abundant thing? Come on, talk to me.
It was like her relationship.
And what else? What else? Come on. This is why you over here getting tricked. That's why you getting tricked, LaRon, because you're not thinking. You over there getting romanced by her sweet words and, oh, Wendy seems so at peace. First of all, she's in a state of mourning. You don't get rid of 22 years just like that. You don't erase 22 years. You can have a friend that you talk to every day on the phone for a year. And then the day that you don't talk to them, you miss them. You can speak to a person 30 days on the phone, and then when you don't speak to them, you something's off kilter about your day. We're talking about 22 years. She grew from a woman in her 30s to a woman in her 50s in this relationship. You just don't wash that off of you.
But Tonya, she did say that she wants to be his friend.
Yeah, of course. What else would she say? What else could she say?
Everything she said was just kind of like just to float through the Sway interview.
Listen. All the penis on the show. This who said that? Danielle C is talking about all the penis. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? I'm going to go back through that interview and I'm going to mark down every single time Wendy talked about penis or having intercourse or dating someone else. Cuz she
Right,
made
right.
What are you talking about? That's right. What
I mean, that was the basis of her interview. It was like it was trying to like promote how she was moving on.
Oh my god, don't you get it? Don't you get it?
Tanya, so you think? But she said she wishes him the best, him and his family. Do you think Wendy? I feel like when the woman Wendy is right, I don't think she could be. I don't think she will be embarrassed on TV with taking that guy back. Like everybody knows that. It's like all of her fans are supporting her. It would look kind of bad to me, honestly. I don't know. That maybe that's why she wants to be his friend. But think about it, Tanya. You sold your house. You're talking about 22 years. That house is in their history. That house is on the market. That's
Yes,
a
of
big.
course. Because she's trying to have her alleged hot girl summer. So she's moved to New York. She's in an apartment. She's going out every night. She
Now, you see her with Rick Ross? She looks sedated.
Listen. She mentioning talking about around her nose was like a crime scene back in the days. You know, the powder. So it's like
Yeah.
she's going off trying to make it seem like she's living her best life and you are buying it hook, line, and sinker. You know what? This is the difference now. I don't want to insult you, okay? I don't want to insult you, but I got to keep it real, okay? This is the difference between upstate and the city. This is the difference. That's
Wow,
all I'm in.
really?
Yes, really. Because if you're going to sit your behind up here and talk about you believe Wendy, you ain't ready for the city. If that's the case, then I got a cap, I got 3 caps, a peanut, and some money. That's what I got. And I'm about to twirl them around on the table and take yours. Cause listen, you ain't ready. What?
Tanya, you didn't feel like anything that she mentioned in her interview was genuine at all?
Now we're gonna go towards anything. Oh yes, I'm sure there were a lot of things she mentioned in the interview that were genuine. The fact that she stopped wearing heels and she wears flats. There's a lot of things that she said that were that I believe were true. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
There were a lot of things she
Yo,
said that
you
I believe were true, but when it comes to this relationship, her hot girl summer, whether or not she's going to be working with him again, and the thing is that it only makes sense if it comes towards palimony, because I think that's what they call it for men, right? Don't they call it palimony?
either way she gonna have to pay him, so I don't know, you're right. I'm just gonna see how it plays out. Because you're right, that's 22 years, but I
LaRon,
don't
all
know.
I'm saying is, let me ask you this question. You wrote inside the comments that you moved to Texas and
Yeah.
you uprooted your life. You moved to Texas and the person dumped you after 28 days, right?
Uh-huh.
And how long did it take for you to get over that?
Honest with you, like I kind of still kind of deal with it because we had a friendship. Like after we broke up, it was kind of like one of those things where you keep somebody close because you don't want to like let them go. But it was like we didn't completely heal because if you keep somebody around after you break up, you're not going to completely heal. And we was trying to like foster this friendship, but it's just like it didn't really work.
Okay.
So,
And so
yeah.
now if it stands to reason, right? That if you all had a relationship, and I'm not sure how what was the span of the relationship. However, we're talking about a 22-year marriage. And then a few weeks later, you over it. You out there twirling your wig in the sky, tooting it up in the VIP, kissing on all these different types of men. This is a show. This is a show.
Wait, one thing. Oh, this is one thing I'm glad I thought about this because when she said it, it made me think about you, and I wondered how you felt about this because
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way. I'm this way, right? Regardless of what I'm going through, I'm one
Yes.
of those people. She said something in the interview like you give yourself a few days, and then after that, it's over. Like, you got to keep it moving. I feel like Wendy is gonna save face in the interview because I probably would too, and you're gonna feel like crap on the inside. But you like not, you know how you said you put one foot in front of the other. That's all we
Yes.
could keep doing. That's it.
Okay. And so and so listen, I
She
want
looked
you
like she was gonna cry in the interview too, and she said, "Nope, I'm not gonna cry." But she did look like she was going to. Her eyes got
exact
glossy.
exactly. You know something. Listen, I want you. Let's do a scale of 1 to 10, right? Let's do a scale of
Mm-hmm.
1 to 10, with 1 being down on the floor just in a heap, 1 being down on the floor in a heap, and 10 being completely over it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how over it do you think Wendy is from this marriage? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 down on the floor, 10 is I've completely moved on. I don't even know. People putting up a 1. Damn it.
Say 4. That's that. I
Somebody
would
put
say
up a
4.
minus 22. Princess Fula put up minus
22. But what she's like, but Wendy, I mean, Betanya, like, Wendy's at the best place of her life. Like, even though her husband did that, yes, she broke up with him, but her son is grown. He's out of the house. She can navigate this hot girl summer lifestyle and be out in the club and stuff. So it's like she's really just staying busy. Like, if you know, she's like self-medicating with being busy. I hope she's not relapsing, but she's just like, she's in the best place. Her son is gone. He's grown in Miami. You know, she's just on her.
You
I
know
don't know.
what?
I just hope she doesn't.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So she has 2 losses now. Her husband's gone, her son is gone. Imagine her sitting up in that big house by herself. So, because listen, you know, you mourn your children moving out, you mourn your relationship. So she is all on her own. She hasn't been on her own since she was in her 30s. Now, 22 years later, she's all on her own. Her son's gone, her man is gone. And you think that she's really having a hot girl summer? All right. Thank you so much for your input, Laron. You didn't. I want you to give your vote on a scale of 1 to 10. How over it do you think she is? Let's be honest.
I told you. I think I said 4, but you said somebody said minus 22. I feel like she's trying, Tanya. I feel like she's putting one foot in front of the other. Like, she don't know. Like, honestly, this is how I felt, right? I know she said in the interview that she didn't relapse, but I feel like the way that she feels to me, like her vibe, like I don't know if she could do it any day or if she has cancer in it. But I just feel like she's trying, but she does still seem hurt.
Yes. If she was really over it, she wouldn't have to be talking about her sex life. Let me ask you this question. And look, like I said, I don't watch her show.
I don't either anymore.
You know
So
something?
Wendy is so legendary. Like how I feel
Hold
like
on,
you
I'm
are,
trying
like,
to know. I'm trying to speak right now. Give me 1 second. Now you made me forget what I was gonna say. I lost it. All right, go ahead and say what you were gonna say now, because now I have to remember. Go ahead.
Wendy is kind of like how I feel about ever since I've been watching your videos. It's kind of like I don't watch her live show, but I tune into you more than her. But she's certain people that you meet along the journey, like they make a mark on you. Like, you know how, for example, it's the girl who got up in a controversy with Cardi, that channel with that girl with that whole thing. It was like I will watch her videos sometimes, but I haven't watched her videos in months because like what she speaks about, all of that doesn't draw me in enough. It doesn't draw me in. It was like I will watch it for gossip, but then it's like I'm not like, you know, somebody who will go back frequently. Your channel feeds me, so that's where I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, that channel doesn't feed me. I would just see those videos and I'll be like, oh, what's she talking about? And
I am not a biscuit. There's no reason for you to try to butter me. So hold on. I remember what it was I was trying to say. So I'm gonna ask you
know the
all.
life of a subscriber. Like, that's how I am. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Okay. So listen, I want you all to answer out there. Put up a number 11 for the amount of times that you've ever heard Wendy talking about her sex life with quote unquote big. Put up a number 12 if you've never really heard her talk about her sex life. What type of penis is she like and all of that. 11 if
12.
you've heard her talking about, 12 if you've not. So all the numbers are coming through are 12. So now
Wow.
all of a sudden, now she's talking about. So Catherine and Rita are saying that they've heard her talk about it. Oh, so you know what? I want to hear more about that. I want to hear more about that. So,
I
oh,
never really heard about it.
everybody else is putting up 12. So you mean to tell me that for all of these, so look, for all of these years, she's never talked about, to my knowledge or recollection, and to most of the people, she's never talked about her sex life, what type of penis is, this, that, and the other. Now, all of a sudden, after she breaks up with her husband, now she's talking about penises and one night stands and circumcisions and all this other stuff.
Right. She probably doing that to get at him in the interviews. Like, oh, she really going like she going overboard.
Exactly. Now you get it. Now you get it.
I get the psychology behind it.
Now you get it. Now you get it. Because really, what is the point? Because first of all, you know, I
I
don't,
get it now.
yeah, I don't know how many people, I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to be rude, because since Wendy has decided to get rid of all of her hips and everything and all of that, I don't know how many people really associate her with sexiness and all of that other stuff. So who really wants to hear her talking about penis? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear her talking about penis, riding
Oh
riding
yeah.
on her flat hips on a prick. I don't want to hear about that.
I was wondering that too, and I don't know why my mind went there because I was like, this relationship has to be a loss to her because she's not necessarily beautiful. But believe it or not, you know how we see those girls in the hood who they look the craziest, hair not as I may think her hair is not done, and then it's like she keeps a man though. So there's somebody out there who wants Wendy, and maybe they want the money, like how Kenny wants Nikki. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody is playing to the game.
Listen,
But Wendy did say that the guy who she meets, he has to be able to take care of himself. So I was liking that type of attitude in the interview because I was like, okay, he got to take care of himself. His kid's got to be grown. She's like, that's. So I couldn't see her messing with a bum, honestly.
when you say messing with, what are you talking about? Because we heard Marlon say that the boy that was in her car looked so young that she would have to burp him after intercourse. So when you say that you can't see her with a bum, what do you mean?
I couldn't see Wendy dealing with a guy who, like, who was either using her, like she said in the interview, she said, the guy who she dates, he has to have money, pretty much. I don't blame her.
Oh Lord. You know what? Actions speak louder than words.
But I think that guy that they seen her in the vehicle with, wasn't he like working for the show or something that she said?
Listen,
She said, believe me, if you see.
she didn't correct Marlon when he was stating what it is that he was stating. She didn't correct him. She didn't correct
Oh, you
him
right about
when he was talking about that. And then she kept making mention of, oh, how she gotta get back home because she gotta make some food, and then she's having a guest later, and she had a guest one night and she woke up and this and
You right. It was like a mind fuck to Kevin. You right. Wait, but they said that they haven't been intimate in a while, so maybe Kevin doesn't even care.
who says they haven't been intimate in a while?
I thought that they were saying that Kevin and Wendy haven't even been intimate. I
Who
think I
said
heard that
this?
somewhere.
Who? You don't be speaking rumors as truth, trying to confuse people, because who know what they've been doing
Got it
in
from
the
that
behind.
channel, that Alicia K.
Listen, no need to mention other channels on my show.
I know.
So who knows what be going on in their bedrooms? Ain't none of us a fly on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of us a fly on the wall. But listen, LaRon, thank you for calling in. We appreciate your point of view. I want to hear some new
You're welcome.
information because you're lost in the stardom. And I beg you all don't do this to me.
Tanya, I
What?
had to come back at you. You know why you're so well rounded? Because you went to a specialized high school and you're very, articulate. But not everybody in New York City has the same story. So, you know,
What that got to do
uh,
with anything?
because you talking about upstate New York people. I am well rounded, but I wanted to say in regards to that, if I kind of thought everybody was lying about what they were saying, then I would think everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody is saying that they moved on and that they're moving on, I wouldn't want to think that they're lying unless it was affecting my life per se. So
See,
that's
but
why I
this is
kind of
what I'm
believe
saying.
Wendy.
There's nothing wrong with being from upstate. Have pride in your naivete. Have pride in it. Ain't nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being from
Okay.
upstate. But I'm sorry, when you navigate through the cruel, hard streets of New York City, there's a certain
Oh,
crust. I mean, there's a crust that grows over you. I mean, damn it, we got rats stealing pizzas in New York.
anyway, let me go back in the crowd like a fan.
You don't listen. I'm sorry, LaRon. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry you weren't born in New York City. I'll talk to you later.
Good night.
Good night. So listen, no, but on the real tip, there's nothing wrong with being from upstate at all. At all. It's all New York. It's all New York. However, there's just a hardness that happens to you in the city. There's just a hardness. Like somebody came into the comments on one of my videos and she was like, I'm from New York and I think you're rude. You were rude. And I was like, and I had to jump down her throat. I was like, you ain't from New York if you think I'm rude. I was like, you ain't from New York. And I went back and forth. I told her I would block her this very day if she gonna try to lie on my city. Because I know good and doggone well she wasn't from New York. There's just a hardness. There's an exterior that grows on you. And because if you don't have that hard exterior, you will get got. I saw somebody post that in the chat earlier, getting got. You will get got if you don't have that hard exterior. Because the city doesn't play, it will devour you and eat you alive. It will devour you and it will eat you and spit you back out. Just like how people come out here to LA and they're like, oh, I'm going to be an actress. And they end up being an actress on the mattress. So, it's like LA can chew you up too, but in a different way. New York, it's all around you. It's all around you. So there's nothing wrong with being tender. If anything, we should be able to appreciate the tenderness of others. There's a part of me that wishes that I could peel back the shell and be tender as well. But then I'd be out here believing foolishness like what Wendy Williams is talking. And I know I know she's not telling the truth. And let's look. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. I'm going to take one more phone call. But I want somebody to call in who really peeped game and is going to educate me on something. Because I have my notes from that Wendy Williams. I have my notes from that Wendy Williams interview. And I know what it is that I feel. I'm a very intuitive person. And from what it is that I gathered that she's on a PR campaign right now to make Kevin jealous. That's what I gathered. I don't think that she's moved on. I don't think that she's even really, I think right now she's in pain reconnaissance, where she's now trying to inflict pain on him because she has no cards. She has no cards. She really doesn't have any cards. Her man is out of the house. He's with another woman. They have a child and a new family. So what cards does Wendy have? You know what I'm saying? It's like she was with him for 22 years. The thing is that she knows him. You don't get to be with somebody for 22 years without really getting to know them. So she knows him. And she knows the type of stuff that'll get under his skin. And the stuff that she's doing right now. Oh, I wish him and his family well. I wish that he, the only thing he could do for me is sign the divorce papers. I'm living in the city. I'm having a hot girl summer. I had a guest. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how men are. They see somebody, there's like with the toy. They see somebody who got their toy and then now they want the toy again. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Mila.
Hi, Mila. So give me the bombshell. What is it that you know that we don't know?
So I feel like this. Since Wendy Williams is a part of Holly Weird, and this is all allegedly, but this is just what my third eye is reading on this, that she always knew about this other woman, and she was okay with them having that relationship. It was just until they got exposed and she got this baby, and the whole world was hounding her for a divorce. Was like, oh, well then, let me do that, or let the people think that I'm doing that, and I'm moving on, and I'm going forward with my life. That is not what she's doing. She always, and she still wants to be with Kevin because he's her beard and she is his. Allegedly.
Hold on. What? How? Wait, what? You are giving me some new information. They're each other's beers, but how? How?
Because I feel like she's bisexual and so is he. And they do whatever they do, allegedly. That's what they do. And they cover up for each other. She knows he's a cheater. And she dabbles and plays in parties like she wants to as well. She was okay with being, the wife and her being the side piece.
So tell me, what evidence do you have of Wendy being with another woman? What evidence do you have?
Well, I've heard stories.
From where? From who?
And that's all I'm going to say. It's just different sources. I haven't, I ain't caught her in the bush, inside the house. I wasn't hiding in the bushes. But people talk.
Who are these people?
And that's always been something that people have said, well, I know you said earlier to the guy that was on the line earlier, you didn't want to name other people's channels, so I won't do that. But, gossip sites, they say things like that.
Okay, so you said that so you're saying on another vlogger is claiming that, see, because it's like what we're doing now is we're talking about third person hearsay. So you're saying another vlogger is claiming that they heard from somebody that Wendy was bi, and so is her husband. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak on that. But you say it, so I appreciate you saying that and also adding allegedly. So thank you. Thank you.
Right.
All right.
Welcome.
Okay. Oh, wow. It just hung up. I don't know if I did that or she did that, but it just hung up. All right. Sorry about that. It wasn't my intention. So here we go. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Sam.
Is this a prank call? Because let me know so I can just hang up real quick.
No, I'm not. It's not a prank call.
What's
wrong?
Because you sound like you're going through some stuff over there, Sam. Talk to us real quick. So what's happening?
Well, I'm watching a stupid black bitch.
See, I told you I have the sixth sense. I know when the prank calls. I know. I can hear it in their voice. So, since people want to play, let's play. You want to dance? Let's dance. Let's call this number back.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again.
Tamika saying that was Wendy. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody talking about Sam the coward. I knew that the person was a prank caller. See, I can always tell. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Debbie.
Yes, hi. Now this sounds like a real person. What's up, Debbie?
I just, it's real crazy. Like, people really believe that. I think Wendy loves him, but I think deep down inside, she wants to hurt him bad.
Yes.
Just believe it.
And
I believe it because I know what it's like to get cheated on and to have your ride and die betray you like that. Yeah. I believe it.
So then let's talk. What are some ways that you think that she can hurt Kevin at this point? Because he's already in a relationship with someone else. He has a new family. He has a baby. So what are some ways that you think she can hurt him?
Well, just by causing a wedge between him and his mistress. That's all.
How? How do you think she would be able to cause a wedge?
Because she knows him better than that woman does. And anything that she could do, like, okay, I think it'd be ideal in her mind if they got back together, but that's real crazy now because there's a baby involved. But I do think she wants to cause a problem between him and her, and just kind of like slide in there and just be the gnat, the gnat that's flying around your ear.
Okay. And so okay. And so you have experience with this. So did you try to hurt your husband after he cheated on you?
Say that again?
Did you try to hurt your husband after he cheated on you?
Oh, I wanted to. And she probably wants to, but she still loves him.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to. What I mean by that is, I didn't. My husband didn't cheat on me. My boyfriends did. But what I think is happening is that she really. Wait a minute. I lost my thought. I'm sorry.
Have you been dipping in the mason jar this evening?
Oh, not at all.
Okay. All right. Just asking.
That's funny.
Just asking.
That's funny. No, but I think that she loves him, and the thing is, I got it back. I didn't want to hurt him. I wanted him to feel as hurt as I was.
Okay, and so what did you do? Did you try to do anything? Did you go on a PR campaign? What did you do?
No, what I did was, I wanted to make him jealous, just like what she's doing.
Okay.
And I wanted to see if I could still get him to like sleep with me without actually sleeping with him. I just needed that validation to know that he still wanted this.
And were you able to get that validation?
I did, but I didn't go back. I just wanted to get him to admit that he still wanted this.
Okay. All right.
And then I thought I was good. I was good after that.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what?
That's what it is about, though. She feels rejected. She feels bad. She's embarrassed. She still loves him.
She wants him. She probably wants them to feel hurt. She just. I mean, I just really feel. I feel she wants to be close enough to actually cause a wedge between him and his mistress.
Okay. Got you. Got you. I feel you on that. I feel you. Okay. So we're on the same page that she's doing this as a way to get his ears to perk up. Like, oh my goodness, she's not sitting at home crying. She's out there living. She's taking other penis. Exactly. You know? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay. Thank you. I like your.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been watching a long time.
Oh, how long?
A few years, like years. I remember when you used to call people knockouts and no, well, lovebirds. That's what it was.
Okay.
Back then.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I know you said you haven't been dipping in the mason jar, but you sound like you've been partying, having a good night tonight. You know?
Yeah, I'm just I stay on social media. I just usually I'm not up. So, but tonight for some reason I'm up watching because I don't watch regular TV. I just watch like I like what you were saying. I only see the little snippets of the Wendy's, you know, the little because I don't watch her show.
Right, right.
I mean, I don't watch TV, so but I'm always on social media.
Got you. Are you slurring your words right now? Just curious. Just curious.
I what?
Slurring.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, got you. It could be the connection. It could be the connection.
Is that how I sound? Oh, no.
Yes, it sounds like you had like some Kahlua cream and then you was sitting back enjoying some.
I wish. I wish I had a daiquiri or something like that. I mean, I don't partake in that. Like at home I'm at home by myself. My daughter and her fiance, they're off at work, and I'm just here.
Okay, and Stella's saying stop. That Stella's telling me to stop. She's saying that's just you. You know somebody named Stella?
What?
Okay.
You're funny.
You know what? All you got to do is just come back and listen to the recording. It sounds like you've been just having a good night. That's it.
I'm glad that I got through because I didn't think I would be because you were like last caller. But I had to call in because I just feel like I feel bad for her in a way, but I don't have any respect for somebody that would actually stay in a marriage that long being played like that.
Yeah, well, respect looks many different ways to many different people. And at the end of the day, it's her choosing to stay or go is it tells a story of who it is that she is. And everybody comes from a different place. And each one of us doing the very best that we can with what it is that we have. You know what I'm saying? And she is doing the best that she can from her own programming, upbringing, and genetic makeup. This is the best that she can do. And so she stayed in this marriage, and who knows why? I mean, obviously there's some sort of internal stuff going on. By the time that you go under the knife to alter yourself, there's some internal stuff going on with your image and who you feel that you are. There's some stuff going on. Anytime that you risk your life to change yourself aesthetically, there's some things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. And the reason why I say I don't have respect for anyone, It could be somebody in Hollywood. It could be a regular layperson. I just don't. I don't think you love yourself if you're willing to allow your husband to just actively cheat.
Well, you know
To
what?
me, that's really well. See, this is the thing. He was gonna cheat, but why stay in it?
You know, that's something that you'd have to ask Wendy, and there's something that's something that you would have to speak with her about, you know,
Right, right.
and you'd have to really get into some deep psychology with her. However,
Mhm.
I fear that while you have that idea going in, that you really wouldn't be able to have a deep, honest conversation to really hear her answer. You know, because if you start out saying, I don't have respect for you because you've done X, Y,
Well, no,
Z.
I'm just telling you that I would actually just listen to her, and
Yeah,
I'm just
but
giving you my critique on it.
right,
I'm not. I would never talk to her like that.
but it's in your heart. The lack of respect
Well,
that you have for her is
I
in your
mean,
heart.
sure, but I know. I also know how to. I also listen to people, and I also, I'm not that harsh. I would actually listen to her and
Yeah, but
just
you know
tell her.
what? But your energy wouldn't, the energy of feeling like a person, like you don't have respect for a person, the energy of that would stop a person from really being able to open up. You know, like we got, like, if you really want to hear the real true answer, and it's like, and so listen. So I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for calling. I'm going to jump off the line now, okay?
Okay, bye.
All right. So, listen, when it comes to holding space for people, right? There's another call coming in. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Okay. When it comes to holding space for people, it's like we you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hello.
Hi, this is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. And so what's your input on
Hi.
this? Hi. Yes.
I just got on here and about 10 minutes ago, and I've been listening, so I'm just getting into your discussion here. And it's a little confusing to me why people are so confused about the situation and what's going on.
What do you mean?
Like the reasons why she is doing what she's doing. Is she self-abusing herself? If she doesn't have self-esteem? Why she's doing things the way that she's doing it? I just feel like, it's really simple. Everything is very simple.
Okay.
When you have somebody who's betrayed you, and you have a certain type of self-esteem or regard for yourself, if somebody does that to you, it's really easy to let that go. It is so easy. It's so easy to not feel anything for that person anymore. If you had respect for yourself.
Okay.
So easy. And if somebody's trying to get back at somebody or hurt them back because they hurt them, that means you still have some feelings invested into this relationship.
Yeah, it's true.
You still have. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, I'm going on with my life and I don't care about this person and I'm living my best life now, but you're still trying to connect yourself with this person. The best way to show that you're moving on with your life is moving on with your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tonya, what is so hard about that? What is so difficult about that? I don't understand why people make a situation like that so complicated.
Well, in the same way,
go on with your life And yes, it's going to hurt. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. She's been with this man for so many years, you know? So, of course, it's going to hurt, and you have to have time to get over that hurt, and give yourself that time to do that. But you don't need to try to validate or make yourself feel better by trying to get back at anybody or hope that they have a miserable life after you or try to get them back with money or
Okay.
anything like that.
Well, you know
You know
what?
what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. We appreciate your point of view. Thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so it's with us being on the outside looking in, it's like we have our own point of view for how and what we think that people would do or should do, etc. But I'll tell you this much, right? I'll tell you this much. If any one of you out there had the same experiences, right? The same background and the same DNA as Wendy Williams, you'd be doing the same exact thing that she's doing right now. Same exact. Same exact. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Okay. So we would also we're not so different. We're not so different, but we create this disconnect where we seem to have a difficult time understanding other people's plights. People are different, and there's different layers of self-love. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, I'm April.
Yeah, hi April. You have to make sure your computer's turned down and you're listening to me on the phone, okay? I'm going to give you a few moments to get that together. So April, make sure your computer's turned down. So listen, there are different layers of self-love. So, we can't say that a person doesn't love themselves. There's different layers. You love yourself in, like, you have different friends. You may love this, you may love that. But when it comes to complete and total self-love, I don't believe that that's achievable in human form. I don't believe complete and total self-love is achievable in human form. All right, so April, let's talk.
Hey, I just want to start out by saying there is a lag between the cell connection and the live feed. It's probably because where I live is way out in the
No,
country,
it's
so
just
I
it's
apologize.
like that anywhere. That's why you got to turn down your radio or turn down your computer and just listen on the phone. So go forward, go forward.
Okay, okay. So I personally believe that Wendy is going through the 5 stages of grief,
Of course.
and I think she's in between stage 3 and stage 4. And stage 3 is bargaining, and stage 4 is depression. And I think that she's in the bargaining stage or in between the two because you
Okay.
see how she's taken her husband back, and that's like her way of bargaining with reality and with life and the universe. But how she cried in that interview is showing a slight glimpse that possibly she's beginning to fall into depression. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. That's a new angle because we know that we do have to mourn these relationships. I wonder if she's even left the denial stage yet. I wonder if she's ever even left denial. So April, thank you so much for giving that input.
Awesome. You're welcome. I love your channel, by the way. I just found you recently, and I listen to you on my way to work all the time and on my way to school.
Oh, wonderful. What video brought you in?
I think it was the one with the man and his wife, and she was like the work mule. That
Oh,
video
Lord.
that brought me in.
Oh, gracious goodness. The one with the interview with them or the video that I did about the situation?
The initial video you did about the situation.
Okay, got you. All right, well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate that point of view. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. So we have the perspective from April of Wendy going through the stages of grief, which, yes, of course, anybody would mourn a 22-year marriage. However, do we think that she's actually worked through all of the stages to get towards the fourth or fifth one? I don't know. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
This is Quay.
Yeah, hi Quay. Just make sure that you're listening on the phone and not on anywhere else. So just what's up, Quay?
Okay, hold on. Let me just take it off the speaker.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Go forward.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm so glad I got through. But I just wanted to put my input in about the whole Wendy situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's seeing her go through her emotions in real time.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking to me because while when she has a little breakdowns and all that kind of stuff, you can tell that she's having these mental replays in her head about probably the things that she's done with him, the things that she's did for him, all the ups and downs and all that, all that good stuff. And, it's just hard to see her breaking down. And I understand why people be coming for her because she comes for everybody else, But,
Yeah.
Pain is pain. So, I don't know.
All right. No, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. So I'm going to take a few more phone calls, but let's get these thumbs up. There are more than 420 people. There's 425 people on the broadcast. 139 thumbs up. Yes, we're still live. Sharky. And so we were talking. You guys were talking in the comments about self-love. Yeah. There are different stages of self-love, and there's different ways that we love ourselves, and there's different ways that each one of us self-abuse, and rather than looking exactly at this situation like, oh, I wouldn't self-abuse in the same way that Wendy self-abuses. Well, Wendy wouldn't self-abuse in the same way that you self-abuse. So it's like each one of our lives are different. And, these tests come into our lives, these situations come into our lives for expansion and growth. And it's going to look different for each person. Like our children even stretch us and expand us. And each one of our children, the personalities that they have when they come out into this world, are specifically chosen for each one of us. Your children's abilities or disabilities are chosen specifically for a person like you. And so you really have to think about who it is that you are in your own life. Like, I don't make these videos for us to talk about other people and what they're doing wrong, right? But for us really to take a look in our own lives. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
This is 123 Creations. Hi, Tonya.
Hey, how are you, 123?
I'm good. I'm waiting for the bus going home, listening to your show.
Oh, wow. It's late out there.
Yes, leaving the gym. So I just want to say I love your show, first of all. Second of all, I just got in to listen to your show about 10 minutes ago because, like I said, I was at the gym. But I'd like to say, first of all, Wendy, she's a Cancer, okay? She's that's her sign. And, Cancers are very emotional. They hold on to things. They rule the fourth house, which is family and motherhood. And, it just reminds me of how just in general, like how important it is to be careful who you connect with in general, but also, on, sexually, and building those soul ties, and how difficult it is to let someone go. And like you said, 20 years, that's, damn, that's a lot. And so I feel like, I've never gone through that, but I've gone through, friendships and things like that where, history and it's just hard to release somebody. I heard a caller say, it's easy, or, when you love yourself, it's easy. I mean, yes, it sounds good, but it's like, in that kind of relationship, I think it's hard. But ultimately, you would, you need to find the confidence in yourself to say, enough is enough. I'm done with you,
Yeah, and you know what? I'll say this, right? And I think there's a lot of us who are missing the mark on this. And I think that I think that a lot of us really kind of misunderstand life. Life doesn't throw easy challenges at you. Life throws very, very difficult challenges. And
Right.
so, and in each person's life, our challenges are specifically geared for us. So as whereas it may be easy for another person to leave a romance, it may be hard.
Right.
It may be hard for that person to leave the biscuits.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may be difficult for some people to pursue their dreams. It may be difficult for other people to have close intimate relationships. It may be difficult. So it's like we all have something. We all have
Right.
something that we're going through. And for each one of
Right.
us, you know, our situation is difficult for us because it was specifically
Right.
created for us. Right?
Right.
So yeah, so
Right.
that's my take on it, and I hope that we
Right.
can. I would love it. Look, I would love for us to have compassion for Wendy, and when I say that Wendy's lying, you know, listen, people
Mm.
don't get better from us coddling them. You know what I mean? And I truly
Right.
believe with all my heart that Wendy's lying. I have compassion for
Mm.
her. However, I
Mhm.
want us to be able to look at ourselves and see the type of denial that some of us traverse through. You know, and so like
Right.
for Wendy, it was easy for Wendy to talk about other people rather than addressing her own stuff. So let's not be like Wendy. Let's not spend
Mm.
our time addressing all of this stuff that's going on in other people's lives. Let's take this time to really kind of look within our own.
Right.
All
Right.
right,
But I'd like,
go ahead.
I just, before I go, I'd just like to say that, this situation with her makes, I mean, I'm not going through, nothing like that or whatever, but it makes me look at myself and it, makes me, realize like who have I allowed in my life for too long and who I should have released a long time ago, because the longer you keep someone around, the harder it is to let them go. So it makes me, look at myself like, okay, who do I need to get the hell out of my life? Because I don't, 20 years is, is 20 years too long to be going through that.
Yeah. You know what? And it's all, listen, at the end of the day, we're all going to either learn what we came into this life to learn or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we can go, but it takes a lot of bravery to jump head first
Right.
into our lessons because it's very painful. You know what I mean? And the thing
Right.
is that one thing that we end up doing is we end up comparing pain, which creates a lack of empathy between us. Where we're like, oh,
Mm.
well, you feel this way. I would never feel that way, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
it's really not about you. It's about that specific person and what they're going through. 1, 2, 3
Right.
creations. Thank you. So what are you doing coming from the gym so late?
I went late. I left work late, and so I was like, I need to go to the gym.
Are you on the East
So
Coast, middle, or West?
No, I'm in California.
Oh, okay. So it's still pretty early for you then. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Oakland, California. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We love you.
Thank you. I love you. Keep up the great work. I can't wait to buy all your merchandise and everything you come out with.
Okay. Have you gotten the book yet? The book of affirmations, self-love?
No, I haven't gotten the book. I got the other book. I placed the order for the other one.
Oh, okay. 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 Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I'm about to order this one soon.
If you want, you can switch your order over.
Okay.
Yeah, just contact me on my website. All right?
Okay.
All right, then.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Okay, so phone lines are open. I'm probably going to take a few more phone calls because I'm starting to get tired. And I really just want to hear I want to hear ideas from people that are going to help spark something for a video I'm thinking about doing tomorrow about the situation. 420 people on the live, but only 167 thumbs up. Go on and thumbs up the video. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's really low, but I'll turn you up. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ashley, and I was just hearing you talk about the different levels of self-love, and I know you teach that a lot on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, because I feel like people are being super judgmental and saying like what she should and shouldn't do, and I feel like Wendy does have a lot of self love, because if you look at her career, she's an established career and she loves what she's doing, and a lot of people can't say that, and that's a form of self love. When you figure out what you want to do, you shoot for it because you believe in yourself, and it brings her to this huge platform. And although she had made mistakes in her marriage, I think the biggest lesson you can get out of Wendy is not to say she's doing right or wrong, just look at like the red flags in a relationship in general, like your own relationship, before you take that step into marriage, before you take that step into like being with someone. Because in all of the crappy relationships I've been in, like the red flag showed up within a week or two, and I completely ignored them, like, so I feel like she probably ignored the red flags with him and decided to go with him on this journey of marriage. And, now it's manifested into this big situation where it's completely toxic for her.
Well,
I just think that
I want to walk it back a little bit. I want to walk it back in terms of this whole thing with how having a certain career or going or following certain, that is an indication to you of self-love. Expound upon that.
So you frown upon it?
Expound upon it. Expound.
Oh, I mean, well, people are unhappy with where they work sometimes. Like, they go to these dead-end jobs, or they choose a career they're not happy in, and, they stick it out, whether it is a good or bad job. You could be a nurse and be completely unhappy, or a doctor and be unhappy because that runs in your family. And she did something that is frowned upon, which is like gossip. And she went for the stars with it, and she's doing really well. And I think that's a sign of self-love, when you shoot for something that you really want to do and you go all in for it. And you have to believe in yourself in order to do that. And a lot of people don't shoot for that at all.
Okay. Well, you know what?
And
I'll say this, right? Because I had an associate who came up on YouTube around the same time that I did, right? And one of the things that, and so she wanted to be an actress. There was a lot of things that she wanted to do. And she ended up landing this show on this major network, right? And so she's currently in this show, and, she's making money and all this other stuff. But I remember one of the conversations that we had back in the days was there were certain topics that she didn't like talking about. But even though she has like the fame and all this other stuff, she is not necessarily in alignment with what it is that she truly wants to be doing. So none of us really know how Wendy truly feels about broadcasting now at this time and all of that. We really don't know. She says one thing, but we don't really know. So going after a dream, I would have to agree with you. It takes a certain amount of knowing that you're worth it to go after a dream. Mm-hmm. However, we don't really know what it was that we don't really know. We really don't know. I was in TKO Skin, which was very successful for many years, but TKO Skin was not my dream, and I was very successful at it. You know what I mean? So, so the self-love was actually leaving TKO Skin. That was the self-love right there. You see what I'm saying, right?
Right. I mean, because you don't like talking about a topic, does that mean it shouldn't be talked about, or does that mean you don't have self-love if you choose not to talk about it?
You're coming up with a bunch of different. Now this is a straw man argument right there, because what we're talking about is, and this is the overall point, we don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't know from the outside whether a person's actions are the actions of self-love or not. We don't know. We don't know why. We don't know whether Wendy being on this show is an act of self-love or self-abuse. We don't know. As a matter of fact, you see her falling out on the show, falling down on the set. etc. So we don't know whether or not she's self-abusing through the show, self-loving through the show. We don't know. So just looking at a person who has achieved a certain amount of success, that really doesn't, like I said, for me, leaving TKO's skin was the act of self-love. So we don't know. So
Well, so would you agree that you would have to show yourself more self-love on it? I mean, you're not going to be able to show yourself love on a daily basis, like on an everyday, day-to-day basis. But you want to have that 80-20 rule where you're doing like more self-love than self-hate, right?
I think we're kind of getting lost because, of course, you can show yourself self-love every single day. Are all of our lives going to be a 100% example of self-love in every single facet? I don't believe that that's achievable in human form. I don't believe that 100% self-love is achievable in human form. I believe that once you get there, you go back into the oneness. That's my thought.
I agree. But all I wanted to say was just notice the red flags with your partner, especially before marrying them. That's really the gist of what I was trying to say.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your input.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. All right. So I'm going to take one more call and then we're going to get out of here. Next call is the last call. So if you've been wanting to call in, and go ahead and thumbs up the video. So right now, this is our last phone call. I believe this is Ohio on the line. Hello? Well, Ohio's gone. We're going to take the next call in. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Hi, this is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pressing pause so it's not a echo.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So I'm Vjo from New York.
Hi, Vjo.
Hello. Hi. I really do. I do think with Wendy, I really heavily followed her, but I do think she has come a long way from where she was, but she has some things to work on. And I think that's something to see with her. But I guess my question comes with, Wendy, and this could happen to Wendy or another woman at around 50, even if a woman at 50 heals and 54 and she heals and she decides, okay, I'm going to be with someone who can take care of themselves. Are those men available, would want, I'm not saying it's a reason to stay, but would the men that are available that may be 60, would they want a woman at 54? And that's just like I don't know. It's kind of, or maybe shouldn't even be on a person. So I don't know. It's just something that I thought about.
What is it that made you think about that?
Well, because it just seems that, I guess maybe watching different things, men to me, men of means, they always want to go for someone a lot younger, and a woman is less valuable. Not that it's true that she's less valuable, but for some reason, there's a perception that women are less valuable as we age, and it's like. That's, I don't know, it's just something that I thought about.
Talk to me about you. Is this something that you've been currently thinking about yourself?
I mean, I'm not at that stage, but it kind of, I am, moving forward in different, I am moving forward, but I'm like, okay, well, what if I get into something, although it'll be better than what I've gotten, but let's say it does end in 20 years, and then I will be back on the market again. Then what? How do you pick up the pieces then?
Right. Well, you know what? Listen. Self-love shows up in so many different ways, And one of the ways that self-love shows up is in manifesting. and
True.
having the self-worth and self-love and self-care enough to manifest what it is that you want rather than focusing on what it is that you don't want. Believing in the abundance of the universe, working on yourself
True.
and enhancing yourself so that when the time is right, you attract the exact right person for you. And you know what? As a matter of
It's
fact,
true.
I guess we attract who we are in another person. We attract our mirror. Our relationship mirrors something back to us. So it's like if we're in a state where we're like, oh well, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to manifest a partner who is the right partner for me because we have created this truth that women have less value at a certain age. I know that we see stuff on TV, and we know that we see P Diddy is 50 with some 22-year-old, etc. However, there are men of means. Like if you really think about it, a person who cares about themselves wants to be with a person who mirrors them, where they are in their life, etc. We got this damn old ass man who was jumping around in the damn 90s, who is now trying to get with some 22-year-old girl. We're talking about 22 is what year is a 22-year-old born in? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
90s.
she was probably born when he was hopping around in
Mace.
exactly, hopping around in those light tunnels with the videos by Hype Williams. So she was a baby then, and now he's gotten to the point where he's come right back around, and it's not an age appropriate relationship. You know what I
I
mean?
think so.
No, we got a
I
person
mean,
we got a person who was
it's
born
not,
when they were
but
using
they
eight
do it.
tracks. He was mixing his first music on an eight track cassette. You talking about a person who was born in an era where they only know online streaming. You know what I mean? The music is
Mhm.
different, the generation is different, the energy is different, all of that is different. And yeah, no, when you love yourself, you want to be with a person that is your reflection. And somebody who's younger than his children after the death of the woman he claimed was the love of his life just doesn't seem very appropriate to me. So,
Understand? I mean, I think you're right. I guess that's that the insecure people talking, the insecure part talking.
well, we all have insecurities. So, just know that we create our truth. You know what I mean? And if you think something is truth, then you're going to go along as if
Yeah.
it is the truth. All right? So, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, and keep doing what you do because
Thank you.
it's wonderful. And I did love that video with delivered
Oh
the
Lord, the
mule,
delivered Dusty.
the mule, the mule's husband.
Yeah, that
He
was a
trusts
mess.
me, but she won't quit her job. But she trusts you. You believe that? Okay.
Right, got you. All right, well, thank you.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right. All right, go on and get those thumbs up. Even if you need to close the chat area, we're going to try for one last person, and then we're going to get out of here. This person's been calling back to back to back. So let's see. Oh, it's so loud. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
My name.
This person's having some phone difficulties. I don't know what is going on. No, we don't want no scrubs. You guys are funny. Wind dust? Oh, gracious. So funny. So I'm trying this young lady back, but we're running down to the top of the hour right about now. So I don't know what's happening to her phone. Hello.
Hi, Tanya. This is Shakia.
Hi, Shakia. So talk to us. What is your input? You're the last phone call of the night.
I'm so glad to hear. I just wanted to give some input on just self love in or out of marriage. My idea of self love is always doing what you need to do for you at all times, even if when that includes the people around you or whoever is in your life at the time. And I think that when it comes to self love, we have our intuition that kind of guides us into
Yeah,
follow
hold on for a moment. Hold on. Tell me your name again.
My name is Shakia.
Yeah, hi, Shakia. And we were talking a little bit about this just a few moments ago. Yeah, and you know what? And sometimes it's like, you know what? Sometimes I stop people when they call in, like with the two broadcasts ago, where the girl was like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for that caller," and I had to stop her, and some people were like, "Well, why'd you stop her? That's the same thing that you're doing." I think that we all got to take a step back from thinking that we have the solutions for other people's lives. Because I don't think when I do my videos I talk about the solutions that I feel other people should be doing in their lives. I present a situation, and I hope that you all hear that I'm talking to you about just using the situation as an example. So Shakia, when it comes to the situation with Wendy, right? Nobody is going to be 100% self-loving, and our self-love and self-abuse is going to show up differently in all of our lives. So it's easy for us to say what it is that other people can do, which is supposed to look self-loving. However, there are things that's going on in your life right now that you're doing right now that's not 100% self-loving. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Huh?
yeah. So let's do that. Okay? Let's look at the energy of really having some empathy for the people that we're discussing. Okay?
Right. That's the angle I was trying to come in on, the intuition and the just the personal intuition between people, period. Like, to even use myself as an example, to not really just focus on Wendy, because I don't really know what Wendy's situation is. All I really was trying to do is just call to put in this intuition thing that I'm steadily getting for self love.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Well, continue to use the intuition inside of your life and continue to just go along the path of self-love for yourself. Okay? Thank you so much, Shakia. All right. So listen, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I'm really tired. I know Moni said she wanted to call in. Um Moni, what area code are you calling in from, Moni? I'm just going to wait for that and just take me a little sip from my own mason jar. Good night, everyone. Good night. I'm glad you all caught my live too. We're winding down, and I've already turned off the lines from receiving calls in. But Moni says she was trying to get through. And we're talking about Tuskegee Airmen. We didn't really veered off. Listen, thank you all for coming out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I asked Moni what was her area code. I'm super, super tired. And so I think I'm going to be heading out. I wanted to hear some new ideas about what people picked up on and didn't pick up on from this Sway interview, because I was thinking about doing a video tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to make a video tomorrow. So we got the fake Cenk Uygur on the line. So silly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for calling in, everyone. You all make the show. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for your points of view. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So good night, everyone. Good night. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Okay? All right. Thank you, 123 Creations, April, Cheryl, everyone who called in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I'm going to go reflect on all that we've talked about and see. But I don't know if I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow. I honestly really don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right then, everybody. Thank you. Keep watching my videos. Get my book. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon where they ship it Prime. You can also get it on my website where I autograph it for you. It's the Book of Affirmation Self-Love. And I will see you all in the next video. All right. All right. And so April wants me to talk about my RV living. All right, Monique. All right, April. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Live your best life and be truthful with yourself and other people. Be truthful with yourself, most importantly. Good night, Candace. Good night. Good night. All right. Good night, everyone. I'm out of here. I'm so tired right now. So tired. Good night.